If you're alone and suddenly feel crushing chest pain, do you know what to do in the next 5 minutes? Most people don't, and that silence could be deadly. After 60, every second counts. Heart attacks don't always look dramatic. They can start as a strange fatigue, shortness of breath, or a dull ache you ignore. But when you're by yourself, knowing the right moves can mean the difference between life and death. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know 7 critical steps that could save your life when no one else is around. Welcome to Thrive Senior Advice, where we help you live stronger, smarter, and longer after 50. If you're someone who lives alone, or you care about someone who does, this could be one of the most important videos you'll ever watch. Today, we're talking about something few people ever prepare for. What to do if you're alone and think you're having a heart attack. It's scary, but the truth is, knowing what to do in those first few minutes can be life-saving. We're breaking down 7 simple, critical actions you can take that could give you the best possible chance of survival, especially when there's no one around to help. And make sure you stay with me until the end, because number 7 is something even many medical professionals say people rarely think about, but it could make all the difference. Point 1. Recognize the warning signs immediately. Let's start with the most important and most overlooked step, recognizing the warning signs immediately. Because here's the truth, you can't act fast if you don't even know what's happening. When we think of heart attacks, most people imagine the Hollywood version, someone clutching their chest and collapsing to the ground. But that's not always what it looks like, especially for people over 60. In fact, the warning signs of a heart attack in older adults can be much more subtle, and that's exactly what makes them so dangerous. Many seniors experience a general feeling of weakness, shortness of breath, cold sweats, nausea, dizziness, or even sudden fatigue. Some just feel like something's off. It may not even hurt at first. Sometimes, the pain isn't in your chest at all. It could be pressure in your upper back, pain in your jaw, or discomfort in your arms, especially the left one. And here's the tricky part. These symptoms often creep in gradually, making it easy to dismiss them as indigestion, anxiety, or just aging. That's why so many seniors delay getting help. You feel a little off, you think you'll just lie down or wait it out. And by the time it gets serious, it's too late. But here's what you need to know. Every minute counts. According to the American Heart Association, the earlier you recognize the signs and act, the better your chances of survival and recovery. The longer you wait, the more heart muscle gets damaged. So how can you protect yourself? Start by memorizing the most common signs in people over 60. Unusual shortness of breath that isn't explained by activity. Sudden nausea or lightheadedness. Fatigue that feels overwhelming or out of the ordinary. Pressure or tightness in the chest, sometimes mistaken for heartburn. Pain in the jaw, neck, back, or arms. Cold sweats or clammy skin. If any of these symptoms come on suddenly, especially if they're paired together or feel off from your norm, don't wait. Act. It's better to be wrong and safe than right and too late. And here's a mindset shift that could save your life. Don't talk yourself out of your symptoms. Don't wait to see if it gets worse. Don't worry about being embarrassed if you're wrong. Worry about being alive if you're right. It's also a good idea to talk with your doctor ahead of time about your personal risk factors, especially if you've had high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, or a history of smoking. Knowing your baseline helps you better recognize when something feels wrong. And finally, practice self-awareness. Nobody knows your body better than you. If something feels off or unlike anything you've felt before, trust your gut. That little voice inside might just be your best first responder. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever brushed off a strange symptom only to worry about it later? Maybe it turned out to be nothing, or maybe it was a warning sign. Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could help someone else recognize the signs before it's too late. And stay with me, because up next, we're covering the one move you absolutely must make the moment you suspect a heart attack. Most people hesitate, and it costs them precious time. 2. Call emergency services first. Once you recognize the signs of a heart attack, your very next move could be the difference between life and death. And that move is simple, but often overlooked. Call emergency services immediately. Your first instinct might be to wait and see if the pain passes, or maybe even to drive yourself to the hospital. But let me be clear, Your first move should never be to wait it out, and never to get behind the wheel. Why? Because every single minute counts. There's a saying in emergency medicine, time is muscle. That means for every minute you delay, more of your heart muscle is being starved of oxygen. The longer you wait, the more permanent the damage, and the lower your chances of full recovery. Now here's something many people don't realize. When you call 911, or your country's emergency number, you're not just calling for a ride to the hospital. You're getting trained professionals on the line who can help guide you through those critical first moments. They can give you life-saving instructions, monitor your situation, and even dispatch help faster because they already know you're in distress. Think about it. If you're alone and collapse behind the wheel, no one may know where you are or how to help you. But if you're at home, on the phone with emergency responders, they know your location and can start helping the moment they arrive. Even if you're unsure it's a heart attack, it's always better to be safe and make that call. Paramedics would much rather arrive and find that it's indigestion than arrive too late to save your life. This is especially important for people over 60. Many older adults try to tough it out, not wanting to make a fuss or burden anyone. But this isn't the time for pride or patience. This is the time for action. And here's one more reason to call. Immediately, emergency responders can often begin treatment on the way to the hospital. That's something you can't do alone in a car or waiting on the couch. So let this be your rule. Feel symptoms? Make the call. Don't second guess. Don't wait. Don't drive. And here's a tip you can act on right now. Save your local emergency number in your phone and set up voice commands like call 911 or emergency services. The faster you can access help, the better your odds. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but what if I'm in such bad shape that I can't speak? What if I pass out before I can even explain what's wrong? That's exactly why our next tip could be the most important one of all. It's something simple you can set up today, and it could quite literally speak for you when you can't. Don't miss it. 3. Use a medical alert device or phone shortcut. So you've recognized the symptoms. You've made the call, or at least you want to. But here's a scenario that's all too real, especially for people living alone. What if you can't speak? What if the pain is so intense you collapse before you even touch your phone? That's why this next tip is absolutely critical. And it's something you can set up right now, before an emergency ever happens. Use a medical alert device or emergency phone shortcut. Because if you fall unconscious, feel paralyzed, or become too weak to move, you need a system that speaks for you. Let's break this down. First, medical alert devices. These are simple, wearable tools, often in the form of a bracelet, necklace, or smartwatch, that can contact emergency services at the press of a button. Some even detect sudden falls and will automatically alert 911 or a designated contact if you live alone or have a heart condition, high blood pressure, or diabetes. Having one of these on you at all times isn't just a precaution, it's a lifeline. But even if you don't have a wearable device, your smartphone can also be your safety net. Start by activating your phone's emergency SOS feature. Most modern phones have it built in, you just need to turn it on. This allows you to call emergency services even when the phone is locked. On many phones, it can be triggered by pressing a side button multiple times, holding a volume key, or using a voice command like, "Hey Siri, call 911. Hey Google, emergency." These commands can bypass the lock screen and get help fast, even if your hands are shaking or you're disoriented. Now here's another critical step. Set up your medical ID. This is the information that emergency responders can access from your lock screen. It includes your name, age, medical conditions, allergies, medications, emergency contacts, and more. Imagine being unconscious and paramedics arriving. They can tap your phone, access your medical ID, and instantly know that you're allergic to aspirin, that you have a pacemaker, that your daughter should be called immediately, all without ever unlocking your phone or asking you a question. This kind of setup takes just 10 minutes, but could save your life. It gives professionals the tools they need to treat you quickly and accurately. And here's something personal to think about. Imagine you're lying on the floor, chest pounding, unable to move or speak. Your phone is next to you. Can it save you? If you've taken the time to prepare, yes, it absolutely can. If not, you're gambling with minutes you might not have. So here's your action step. After this video, go to your phone settings. Set up Emergency SOS. Enable medical ID. Add voice commands if available. And if you can, invest in a medical alert device that fits your lifestyle. Many are discreet, affordable, and some are even covered by insurance. This one simple move could be the reason help arrives in time, even when you can't say a single word. Now I'd love to know, do you already use any of these tools? Have you set up your phone's emergency features? Share your tips or questions in the comments. You never know who you might help by speaking up. Coming up next, a tiny pill that could slow the heart. Attack itself, but only if you know when and how to take it. 4. Take an aspirin if you're not allergic. The next move is small but mighty. In fact, it could buy you life-saving minutes while you wait for help to arrive. If you think you're having a heart attack and you're not allergic, take an aspirin immediately. Here's why. Most heart attacks are caused by a clot blocking blood flow to the heart. Aspirin is a blood thinner. It helps slow the clotting process and may reduce the severity of the heart attack as it's happening. That extra time can give emergency responders a better chance to treat you before lasting damage sets in. But there's one critical detail most people don't realize. Don't just swallow it. Chew it. Chewing aspirin allows it to absorb into your bloodstream faster, often within minutes, giving it a quicker shot at working when your heart needs it most. Doctors and emergency responders are trained to give aspirin for this very reason. But if you're alone, you need to be ready to do it yourself. Now, here's the big caution, and it's important. Only take aspirin if you know you're not allergic to it, and if your doctor hasn't advised against it for any reason. If you've ever had a bad reaction, stomach ulcers, or are on blood thinners, this might not be a safe option for you. That's why it's so important to talk with your healthcare provider ahead of time and ask, should I keep aspirin on hand in case of a heart emergency? If the answer is yes, keep one accessible, ideally a 325 milligrams tablet or two 81 milligrams baby aspirins. Store them in a pill case by your bed, in your wallet, or even with your phone so they're always nearby. And one more tip, don't take coated aspirin in this situation. Enteric-coated aspirin is designed to dissolve slowly, which delays the effect. Regular, uncoated aspirin is what you want. Imagine this scene. You feel chest discomfort, your breathing becomes tight, and you feel that wave of fatigue washing over you. You grab the phone to call emergency services, and then you reach for that aspirin. That one small action might slow the damage and give your heart just enough time to survive the wait. It's something so simple, yet so few people think to do it or know how. So ask yourself, do you have aspirin nearby right now? If not, make it part of your emergency kit tonight. And if you're not sure if it's safe for you, call your doctor and have that conversation. It's one of the most important questions you can ask. Let me know in the comments. Do you carry aspirin with you? Or is this something you've just learned today? You never know, your answer might encourage someone else to get prepared too. Next, we're going to talk about something most people forget entirely: how your body position in those first few minutes can affect your survival. 5. Unlock your door and stay near it. You've recognized the symptoms. You've called for help. Maybe you've even taken an aspirin. But now comes a step that most people never think about, and it could make all the difference. Unlock your door, and if you can, move closer to it. Because here's the reality. Paramedics can't help you if they can't reach you. Every second counts during a heart attack, and if you're home alone with the door locked, emergency responders may waste precious minutes trying to get inside. In some cases, they may even have to force entry, breaking down doors or windows, which not only delays treatment, but can also cause injury or confusion. That's why this step is so important. If you're still mobile, unlock your front door immediately after calling 911. Then, position yourself nearby. Sit or lie down in a place where you'll be visible and easy to access as soon as help arrives. Don't wander the house. Don't try to gather things. Don't worry about how you look. Focus only on survival. The ideal position is near the entry point, somewhere visible, and flat on your back or slightly reclined. This helps emergency personnel start treatment right away, without wasting critical time trying to locate you or force their way in. If you live in an apartment building or gated community, and access is more complicated, talk to your building manager about how emergency services can get in quickly, or consider a lockbox with a spare key that responders can access with a code. Another great tip, Leave a note on or near your door with emergency contacts, medical info, or instructions. If you're unable to speak when help arrives, this small preparation could help save your life. And let's not forget, if you have a medical alert system or smart home setup, some devices allow you to unlock doors remotely or notify emergency contacts with one press. It's worth exploring these options if you live alone or have mobility challenges. Let's bring it back to something simple. Imagine paramedics racing to your home and standing outside a locked door while you're just steps away. Now imagine that door's unlocked, and you're right inside, ready to be helped the second they walk in. It's such a small step, but in the chaos of a medical emergency, small steps become life-saving ones. So here's what you can do today. Practice what you do in an emergency. Identify the safest, most accessible place to rest near your entry. If possible, install a smart lock or keep a key where help can get to it. Let trusted neighbors or friends know how to access your home in case of an emergency. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever thought about how emergency services would enter your home? Do you have a plan in place? Share your thoughts in the comments. It may help someone else think ahead. Up next, we're covering something even more powerful than positioning, how you're breathing, and mindset can actually support your heart while you wait for help. 6. Stay calm and lie in a comfortable position. You've done the most critical things, recognized the symptoms, called for help, made yourself accessible. But now comes a challenge that's harder than it sounds, staying calm while you wait. It may seem impossible when your chest is tight, your breathing is shallow, and you feel like your body is betraying you. But here's the truth. Panic can make a heart attack worse. When you're anxious or afraid, your body releases adrenaline. Your heart beats faster. Your blood pressure rises. Your breathing becomes shallow. All of these things put additional strain on your already struggling heart. So what's the best thing you can do in those critical minutes before help arrives? Lie down in a comfortable position. Elevate your head slightly and begin to slow your breathing. This simple act can make a powerful difference. Start by positioning yourself, either on your back with a cushion or pillow, supporting your head and shoulders, or recline slightly if that feels more comfortable. The key is to reduce the demand on your heart. No strain, no tension. Next, place one hand on your belly and the other on your chest. Try to make the hand on your belly rise more than the one on your chest as you breathe. This signals your body to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for calm and rest. Inhale gently through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 1 or 2 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 to 8 seconds. Repeat. It sounds so simple, but it does 2 critical things. It lowers your heart rate and blood pressure, easing the stress on your heart. It helps you focus your mind away from fear and toward control. It's natural to feel afraid, but fear is fuel for panic, and panic is fuel for more damage. That's why learning to breathe through discomfort, even just a little bit, can help your body hang on until professionals take over. And here's something to consider. Have you ever practiced calming breathing before? If not, this is your invitation to start. Not just for emergencies, but for your daily health. Even a few minutes a day of slow, deep breathing can improve your heart health, reduce anxiety, and give you the tools you need when crisis strikes. Because let's face it, when you're alone and scared, your breath is the one thing you can control. And that control could be the key to survival. Now, I want you to think about this scenario. You've just called 911. You've taken your aspirin. You're near the front door, but your chest is still tight. Your arms are heavy, and every second feels like an hour. This is the moment where mindset matters. This is where you tell yourself, help is coming. I am breathing. I am still here. And you breathe, slowly, steadily, because each breath is buying you time and keeping your heart from working harder than it has to. So let me ask you, have you ever practiced deep breathing techniques or meditation? Do you think this is something you'd try now, knowing it could one day help you survive? Drop your answer in the comments. Share your experience. You never know who might take that advice and use it in their own moment of crisis. And now, we've come to the final move, one that most people forget completely, yet it could make all the difference in how quickly you get the right care once help arrives. Stay with me. 7. Prepare in advance. Your life may depend on it. If you take just one thing from this video, let it be this. Preparation is the most powerful move you can make. long before an emergency ever happens. Because when a heart attack strikes, everything happens fast. There's no time to think clearly, no time to Google what to do. In that moment, your ability to survive may come down to what you've already done. Planning ahead is your strongest weapon. It's the one thing that gives you control in a situation that can feel completely out of your hands. So, what should you have prepared before anything goes wrong? Here's a simple heart emergency checklist that every senior, especially those living alone, should create and review. Emergency contacts. Have a short list of people to call, posted near your phone or saved as favorites in your device. Include names, relationships, and phone numbers. Medication list. Write down all the medications you take, dosages, and any medical conditions or allergies. Keep a printed copy in your wallet and saved on your phone's medical ID. Location of aspirin. Know exactly where your emergency aspirin is and keep it within reach. Whether it's in a bedside drawer, purse, or emergency kit, clearly visible address. Make sure your home address is easy to see from the street, especially at night. Emergency services can't help you if they can't find you. Front door access. Leave clear instructions with a trusted neighbor or install a lockbox with a spare key in case responders need to enter while you're unconscious or unable to move. Medical alert tools. Use a device or phone feature that allows for quick emergency calls, even if your phone is locked or you can't speak. Think of this plan like a fire drill, not because you expect a fire, but because you're prepared if it ever comes. The same applies to your heart. It's not fear, it's smart. And here's something more emotional to consider. We prepare for so many things in life: vacations, dinner guests, birthdays. But we often avoid preparing for emergencies because it feels scary or morbid. But preparing doesn't mean you're inviting tragedy. It means you're choosing strength, confidence, and peace of mind for yourself and your loved ones. Don't wait until it's too late to prepare for the moment you hope never comes. If a heart attack strikes when you're alone, that moment will be overwhelming. But if you've prepared, your chances of survival skyrocket. You'll have the tools, the plan, and the clarity to act fast, because you won't be wasting time scrambling. So here's your call to action. Before the day ends, take just 10 minutes and start building your emergency plan. Write it down. Share it with someone. Keep it somewhere you can see it. You'll feel stronger just knowing it's there. Let me know in the comments. Do you already have a plan? If not, what's one thing you'll do today to start? Your answer could inspire someone else to take action and save their life in the process. And now, let's wrap up with the most important truth of all. You are not powerless. You have more control than you think. And your preparation today could be your survival tomorrow. You deserve to feel safe and empowered, even when you're alone. A little preparation and knowledge can mean the difference between tragedy and survival. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Or do you have a personal story to share? I read every comment. If this helped you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who lives alone. You might save their life. For more life-saving and life-enhancing advice after 50, don't forget to subscribe to Thrive Senior Advice.